Football is back. College football, NFL, everything's going on this weekend. But we still got the WNBA season that is now down to the last 5 games. And 3 teams are fighting for one final playoff spot. We're going to get into that. And we're going to get into some more stuff on the WNBA, including an injury that has ended a season up in Chicago. Can they still make the playoffs without this player? Let's talk about it. Let's get to it.
Sound like some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting, lights out.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the building September 9th on this beautiful Monday. And yes, we got to talk WNBA because there's only one spot left. There's 5 games remaining. We have 5 games left in the season. And there's one playoff spot remaining. 3 teams are fighting for that one spot. And a big injury that happened over the weekend. Man, oh man, I hate that. I really hate that. But we're going to get into it all here on Shooting Lights. So I thank y'all for tuning in for wherever y'all tuning in to. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button to our YouTube channel so every time you can catch Shooting Lights out when it comes live. Even Bearing Down and Gridiron will be happening Wednesday, Ramley Talk Thursday. So make sure you stay up to date with the Paramakers Blog Network on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and follow to our Facebook channel. That way, anytime we post some news on some notes, whatever the case may be on our Facebook page, you'll be getting it right there. It's a lot going on for our sports. But it's a great time to be a sports fan. But we're going to focus on the basketball. That is what we're going to do. So we're going to get into it. And as you always know, we got to get it started with Around the Hardwood. And to get it started, Memphis sends letter, okay, allegedly major violations in men's hoops to NCAA. Let me go through the article from ESPN first before I talk about it. Hours after Memphis basketball coach Penny Hardaway suddenly fired 4 staff members, the university confirmed the existence of an anonymous letter allegedly serious NCAA violations within the Tigers program. The letter was obtained by ESPN, alleged Hardaway's personal involvement in potential recruiting and academic violations. Quote, the University of Memphis is aware of the anonymous letter and it has been shared with the NCAA, close quote, by university spokesperson Michelle Earhart, said in a statement to ESPN. Now, back on last Wednesday, Penny Hardaway announced that with 2 months before the season started, that he had fired 4 assistant coaches, with Stanberg, Faji Phillips, and Jamie Wazir, as well as special advisor Demetrius Dyson. Neither Hardaway nor the university provided a reason for the firings, with Hardaway saying in a statement that he made a difficult decision to go in a new direction with our staff and acknowledging that the timing is not ideal. It's been a rough couple of weeks, whatever you want to call it, for Penny Hardaway and the Memphis Tigers right about now. First of all, we had the stealing of the Hardaway shoes on the porch of his house that happened. The arrests were made in that one. We got coaches getting fired 2 months before the season. I didn't mention that. And now we have what could be NCAA violations. Memphis is in a lot of I can't say trouble because NCAA hasn't said anything. But they're in a whole lot of mess right now. This has been a messy month for the University of Memphis men's basketball team, who is led by Penny Hardaway as the head coach. So whatever is going on with the Memphis Tigers basketball program, we need to get this figured out because the season begins in November. The season starts in November. We are already in the second week of September. We got to somebody figure something out here if you're Memphis, because the season is almost here and y'all have too many things going on right now. Way too many things going on. And none of it is focused on basketball. It's things outside of basketball right now. Let's get it together. That's all I'm saying. Get it together. All right. That's the college news for today. Let's head to the NBA. Mavericks reached multi-year local broadcasting deal with Tinga. Now, the Mavericks have reached a multi-year local broadcasting rights agreement with the team, said on Friday, would triple the numbers of people that will be able to see the most of the reigning defending Western Conference champions of the Dallas Mavericks on television for free. So those of you who are living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you'll be able to watch your reigning Western Conference champions a lot more than normal this time. The agreement with Tina, which goes into effect for the upcoming season, will allow about 10 million people in more than 3.1 million Texas homes to have access to broadcasts of games not exclusively televised nationally. So not just the national televised game, you'll get the games that also is not nationally televised to watch. They're saying at least 70 games will be available to watch in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, as well as on stations in Waco, Tyler, Midland Odyssey, Abilene, and San Angelo. So all those cities that I just named, you'll get to see the Dallas Mavericks, whether it's on national television or regional television, with this new deal that the Mavericks came up with. Shout out to the Mavs making things happen. The reigning Western Conference champion want to make sure that their fan base, which mostly resides in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and our surrounding areas in the state of Texas, get to watch their team do what they do. And it's going to be interesting to see how they do in year two, especially when they added Klay Thompson to the team to go along with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. I want to see, can they upgrade on the defensive side? Can they get better on the defensive side? Because if they can, we have something brewing here, because I know Memphis is going to try to come back strong. The Lakers with LeBron James going to try to come back strong. The reigning defending NBA champions before the Celtics took it this past season. The Denver Nuggets, they were ready to look strong. That's who the Mavericks beat. No, that's who the Minnesota Timberwolves beat before they lost to the Dallas Mavericks. So, Minnesota going to want to come back with a vengeance. So we got a lot of things going on here. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the Dallas Mavericks come back this season. Should be a fun season to watch for the Dallas Mavericks, because you made it to the NBA Finals. You just wasn't good enough to beat the Boston Celtics. But you got to know, when it comes to the West, you're the hunted now. You're the hunted. There's no rare runner. You're the hunted. People are coming for you because you won the West. You represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals. So whatever you can do, you got to keep it up, okay? You got to keep it going. You can't have a season when you went to the finals and you drop off the face of the map. You can't have that, all right? Now, let's get to some international news real quick. Longtime French men's hoop coach Vincent Collet steps down. French men's basketball coach Vincent Collet is stepping down after 15 years in charge. Collet, the longest-serving French coach in history, was appointed Monday as a special advisor to the technical direction of the Basketball Federation after guiding his team to the silver medal at the Paris Olympics last month. Collet led France through the 6 European Championship, 4 World Cups, and 4 Olympic Games. He steps down having coached 253 games internationally, securing an all-time record of 179 wins, according to the Federation. Under his hand, the team secured 8 medals at major international events, including back-to-back silver medals in the Olympics back in 2021, or you call it the 2020 Olympics, but it happened in 2021 out in Tokyo. And then last month when USA, who beat them again, this time on their home turf in Paris Olympics for the gold medal. I'm gonna say there's been rumors circling around that he could make the jump to the NBA. Says that the Federation said his new mission could be interrupted if Collier accepts proportional from the NBA franchises to work as an assistant coach, or from teams participating in the EuroLeague who might want to hire him. So he could be getting offers for not only the NBA but in Europe as well to be coaching assistant or head coach, depending on what league we're talking about here. To coaching, he's been coaching the men's French team for 15 years, and he has done a great job. You're talking about 253 games that he has coached for the French national team, and he has won 179. That's a pretty damn good record, if you ask me. So, let's see what the future holds for Mr. Vince Collier and see where he goes forward from there. Now let's get to a couple more NBA news. Tristan Thompson back with the Cavs after agreeing to a 1-year deal. When I went through it, could be closing in on retirement if Tristan Thompson. You want to sign a 1-year deal. Maybe he just getting ready to have one last swan song he want to do with the team that he began with, the Cleveland Cavaliers, which I understand. I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just speculating. I'm guessing based on what I read. It could be close for him to be hanging it up. All right. And time for him to go on to the next phase of his life. But Tristan Thompson is back in Cleveland with the Cavs on a 1-year deal. Speaking of deals, the big deal of the weekend, Jamal Murray, 4 years, $208 million extension. The Denver Nuggets star point guard has agreed to a 4-year, $208 million max contract extension. The deal, which keeps Murray out of free agency next summer, ties one of the franchise cornerstones to the Nuggets for a total of 5 years, $244 million. Murray will earn $36 million this coming season before a bump to $46.4 million in 2025-2026. He will make $50.1 million in 2026-2027, $53.8 in 2027-2028, and $57.5 million in the final year of the deal. Congratulations, Jamal Murray. You are an NBA champion. When you was healthy, along with Michael Porter Jr., Denver couldn't get beat. It was a great thing to watch Denver do their thing a couple of years ago. Then this past season, you got taken out by the Minnesota Timberwolves, but y'all gonna come back. Y'all gonna do y'all thing. And Jamal Murray, along with Nikola Jokic, will be around for the Nuggets for a good while. And hopefully my co-host was jumping up and down. Happy that the two cornerstones for the Denver Nuggets will still be around as he wants the Nuggets to go win another title, but we shall see. Okay, that's the big news from the NBA. Let's go to the big news from the WNBA and the big news in all of basketball, because this one is a heartbreaker. Sky's rookie Angel Reese season over with wrist injury. Angel Reese's sensation rookie campaign for the Chicago Sky has ended because of a season-ending wrist injury suffered Friday against the Los Angeles Sparks. Reese's season will end with the averaging of 13.3 points per game, 13.1 rebounds per game, and 1 point steals per game. And it's a wrist injury, man, a wrist. But before I get on to what I want to say, this is what Angel Reese said upon receiving word and news breaking of a season-ending injury. She says, quote, "What a year. I never would imagine that the last bucket of my rookie season would be a three. But maybe that was God saying, give them a taste of what they will be seeing more in year 2. LOL. I am filled with emotions right now that I have a season-ending injury, but also filled with so much gratitude for what is next. Although this is God's timing and not mine, I am finally able to give myself a physical and mental break. God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. Close quote. Angel Reese was on a phenomenal season. For a good part of the season, she was in a Rookie of the Year debate with Caitlin Clark as they was going back and forth until, in my opinion, Caitlin Clark started to take over right before the All-Star break and came back after the All-Star or Olympic break and put a distance between her and Angel Reese. But that does not diminish what Angel Reese has done this season, okay? Because what she has done this season is simply remarkable. All right. I want y'all to understand what she has done, all right, in her season, okay? Angel Reese, like we said, she will finish with 13.1 rebounds per game. That is leading the league currently right now. And it's set to be the most average during a one season of the entire WNBA history. All right. Angel Reese had the most consecutive double-doubles by any player with 15. The first rookie with that double-double in an All-Star game. Yeah, the All-Star game, when she teamed with Caitlin Clark, she was the one that had a double-double. Caitlin Clark, to her credit, she could have did more, but that was around the time Enrique Gumorale started getting hot in there, and Caitlin Clark was like, no, I'm good. Let Enrique keep cooking. I'm good. I'll chill right here a little longer. So I give Caitlin Clark that. She saw Enrique going on. She was like, nope, I'm not checking in for her. She love keep going. 13.1 is the most ever average in the WNBA, as I mentioned earlier. First player with 3 consecutive 20-plus rebounds a game. First Sky player to begin career with 3 straight double-scoring games. First rookie in Sky history with 20 or more points and 15 or more rebounds in a game. Longest streak of 10-plus rebound games with 23. And passed Tina Charles for the most rebounds by a rookie in WNBA history with 446 rebounds. Now, she broke that probably 3 weeks ago when she had her 405th rebound. I forgot what game that was, but that's when she actually broke it. It was 400. I think it was like 404 by Tina Charles. As you can see, she's blown that up to 446. And she got hurt with 5 games left. So she might have had 5. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say this with conviction. If she wouldn't have got injured, she would have got 500 rebounds, in my opinion. With 5 games left, the way she was rolling, that's only 34 rebounds. I believe she could have got 34 rebounds in 5 games. She would have got the 500. Unfortunately, she's injured. She's done for the season. In the midst of a very important time for the Chicago Sky, by the way. Very important time for them. As they're fighting for their playoff lives. But these things happen. Felt the same way when Cameron Brink tore her ACL about a month into her rookie season. And she was leading the league in blocks at the moment in time. She was giving you 2.5 blocks a game. And tore her ACL. It probably was against the Minnesota Lynx, if I'm correct. It was either the Lynx or the Connecticut Suns, and I felt the same way I'm feeling now. Like, dang, I want to see Cameron Brink get better as the season progresses. Same thing with Angel Reese. I'm like, I want to see Angel Reese see how she does when the pressure is on. 5 games left. You got 2 teams on your tail trying to get that playoff spot. You trying to hold on to it. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that. So our thoughts, our prayers go out to you, Angel Reese. As you recover from wrist injury, hopefully you get better. See how that wrist recovers to see if you're able to participate on the unrivaled thing that you have listed that you was going to play. The 3-on-3, that's going to be Luli active during the winter, led by Brianna Stewart and Nafisha Collier in January. Hope you see you ready for that. If not, get you ready for year 2 of the WNBA season. And hopefully we can see a more improved Angel Reese, because even you got some stuff you need to work on. But man, I wanted to see how you was going to do in pressurized situations with these 5 games that was coming. Unfortunately, we won't get there to see it. That will do it for Around the Hardwood. When we come back from commercial break, we're going to recap the weekend in the WNBA and the 3 teams that you see on your screen. We're going to talk about because these are the 3 teams fighting for that one and final playoff spot.
I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join Ryan McCarthy
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
and Dustin Henry
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
WWE Shop is your online source for all things WWE. Be a part of the excitement and score wrestling gear for big events like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. From current superstars to legends, from Raw to SmackDown to NXT. Don't miss this chance to shop for the most awesome WWE merch. Shop for the best deals as well as WWE gift cards and save big on your favorite items. WWE Shop at Fanatics Experience.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA Knight. Oh, okay, nigga. LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these 2 kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting the Lights Out here. Before we continue on, you'll be catching this episode on the Real Wise Radio on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to my brother Wise at Help for You. Also be catching this if you're in the Midwest Indiana area, 502 American Angel, Fridays. Also in prime time action. Also, if you want to have any opportunity to listen to whatever you want to, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, wherever else you find your podcast is at. Shooting the Lights Out is available on those platforms as well. So there's no way that you cannot listen to Shooting the Lights Out because we are plastered almost everywhere. But we can be in distribution wise. Same thing with Bearing Down the Gridiron and Remedy Talk. All right. Now, let's get to it. Let's get to the weekend that was in the WNBA. Beginning back on Friday, 4 games Friday, we saw the Atlanta Dream take down the Dallas Wings in overtime 107-96. The champs, the Las Vegas Aces, going to Connecticut, taking down the Suns 72-67. The Minnesota Lynx and the Indiana Fever got together again, and the Lynx by 11. And then the Chicago Sky, the game that was the final game of Angel Reese, 92-78 the woeful LA Sparks. But the game to really dive into is in Indiana when the Minnesota Lynx and the Fever got together. Started off great for the Fever. Had an 8-point lead. They took a 5-point lead in the halftime. And then that third quarter, 29-12 in the third quarter, was the difference of the game. It was the difference. That is a 17-point third quarter for the Minnesota Lynx. They went to halftime down 5, and they went up 12 going to the fourth quarter. You can't have that at home for you if you're Indiana. Can't have them lapses, but you did. And, and the Fisher Collier, who is second in the MVP race, if there is a race, because I believe Angel Reese is so far ahead, I don't think nobody's catching her. But Fisher Collier is number 2 on my list. 26 points, 10 boards, 8 for 17 from the field. Can't argue that. Despite the fact that Carlton gave you 16, Smith gave you 13, you got 15 from Courtney Williams, the Fever had Aaliyah Boston go for 20, Kelsey Mitchell go for 23, and Caitlin Clark go for 25, 8, and 8. Indiana, when your three stars go for 20, for going for 20 plus each, you cannot lose that game. You can't not lose that. You cannot have Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Clayton Clark all go for 20 plus, and you lose that game. You have to find a way, and not only losing it, you lost it by double digits. That cannot happen if you're the Indiana Fever. Teams should fear you when okay, Aaliyah Boston's on. That's not good. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell is still hot. That's not good. And Caitlin Clark still being. That is not good. When them three are working cohesively like they was on Friday, you cannot lose by 11. But shout out to Minnesota. They handled business. They got the job done, and they sit here at 26-9 and drop the Fever to 19-17. But Indiana, you have to be better than that. You can't have your stars go off and you lose the game. You cannot have that. Let's go to Saturday. We had one game Saturday. The Mercury did not show up in Seattle. Well, they showed up for the first quarter, but somewhere after that, they was nowhere to be found. I have no idea what's going on with Phoenix right now. I wish I knew. But the fact that the Phoenix Mercury are 2 games under 500 is very concerning to me. When you have Diana Taurasi in her final year, most likely. When you have Brittany Griner, who's playing with a newfound belief that what she went through. When you have a Kalia Copper, who is a bucket waiting to happen. When you have a defensive wizard and Natasha Cloud, who also can distribute the ball. She has shown plenty of time throughout the season. And whenever she needs to, she can put the ball in the bucket. What the hell is going on with the Phoenix Mercury? This is uncrazy. This is fathoming for me, to be honest. Seattle's good. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have lost to Seattle, but Seattle destroyed y'all. That is 90-60. If they would have scored 6 more points, they would have beat you by 30. They probably had a lead of 30 at one point in time. If I really want to go in and dig on it, but I don't feel like it. Because the show's not really centered around y'all. It's centered around the 3 teams that's fighting for the playoffs for today. But man, Brittany Griner, 4 points, 2 from 7 from the field, 8 rebounds. Diana Taurasi, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Natasha Cloud, 3 points, 3 boards, 6 assists. Kalia Copper, 11 points, 4 from 16 from the field, 5 rebounds. Sophia Cunningham, 9 points, She was 3 for 4, and then her 3 for 4 was the 3 for 4 from 3-point range. What are we doing, Phoenix? What is going on? What is going on down in the desert? Are y'all? I know Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, and Khalil Cobb was on the Olympic team. Hell, Diana Taurasi better saw the goddamn court. Khalil Cobb, she better saw the court, but when we needed her, she got put in the right moments, and she showed up, especially for that gold medal game. Brittany Griner, you split time with Asia Wilson, Breanna Stewart. But what's going on in Phoenix? Somebody tell me what's going on in Phoenix, please. Because this is not the Phoenix Mercury team that I thought coming in. I thought this Phoenix Mercury saying, okay, they're trying to make, when you bring in Khalil Cobb to go with Brittany Griner and you bring in Natasha, I'm like, okay, so what happened last season ain't gonna happen this season. Okay, I see what Phoenix is finna do here. Y'all go, okay, y'all gonna make the playoffs. Y'all already clinched, but are y'all gonna be able to do anything with Minnesota? The way that y'all look right now, are y'all gonna be able to do anything with Minnesota? If there are any Mercury fans out there can answer this question, please answer this question. Are y'all gonna do anything with the Minnesota Lynx, who are the number 2 seed in the WNBA? Are y'all gonna be able to do anything? That's a 3-game series, if I remember correct. I think because if I remember correct, they changed the playoff rules. If not, what are we looking forward to if you're in Phoenix? You got the Cardinals. They just started off, and they start off with an L to the Buffalo Bills. You're gonna see what they do in week 2 when the Rams come in. Go figure. I'm a Rams fan. You hoping Kevin Durant, Devin Booker can take what happened in the Olympics and apply it to this upcoming season, so they can do something. And Bradley Beal can stay healthy, and that should look like Bradley Beal for once. What is? I don't even know what the Arizona Diamondbacks look like, so I ain't even gonna talk about it. I have no idea. I haven't looked at the baseball thing like that this year, like I did the previous couple of years. I haven't looked at it, so I have no idea what the Arizona Diamondbacks look like. So if the Arizona Diamondbacks looking good, you got something to look forward to. But I don't know. Outside of the baseball, what does Phoenix have anything to look forward to? Well, you could say Arizona. Arizona is off to a decent start in college football. Arizona State is off to a good start in college football. Maybe the college ranks. I don't know. But the professional level, I thought the Murray was going to be something to watch. I was wrong. Phoenix don't look good at all, despite being a playoff team. Seattle, keep doing their thing. Drew Lloyd, the gold mama, 20 points. Skylar Diggins-Smith, she's up and down, but 12 points, 11. Gave you a double-double. No question on that. Gabby Williams, I think she's still trying to find her footing. Can she find it in time enough for the playoffs? There's only 5 games left. So if Gabby can't find it within the next 5 games, that could be a problematic situation for Seattle. Or if she does find it, Seattle's going to be a problem. Because how Gabby played for the French team, she's not playing that same way for Seattle right now. Right? Maybe it's fatigue, we don't know. But I'm just saying, the level of play from Gabby Williams is not matching what happened in the Olympics. Seattle needs that Gabby Williams. That's why they're so clamoring to bring your butt back, Gabby. Because you was on one against the United States for that gold medal. You tried everything in your power to knock up the United States and make sure the home crowd saw a gold medal for France. That Gabby Williams haven't showed up in Seattle. Okay? With 5 games left, can we see that Gabby Williams show up in Seattle and make things very more interesting for the team that's sitting 5th in the playoff standings? That was the only game Saturday. We had a lot of games on Sunday. So we had the Minnesota Lynx go to DC to take on the Mystics. That's an important game. You had the Indiana Fever hosting the Dream. That game finished in overtime. Those who are watching on YouTube or Facebook, that was an important game. You had the final rematch of the 2 teams that met in the finals. Unfortunately, Angel Wilson missed this game, which is the first time she missed a game in like 200 and something odd games of her career. You had the Sky and the Wind go at it, was an important game. Then you had the Suns and the Sparks go at it. On Football Sunday, by the way. Now, I'm looking just out of curiosity. I want to know what the numbers are. I'm pretty sure they ain't coming out yet right now, but whenever they come out, somebody let me know, because I'm looking forward to see what kind of numbers these games did viewership-wise, because you was going up against the first week of the NFL Sunday. That's all I'm saying. You know, I've seen a couple of people talking about Caitlin Clark or Indiana or WNBA or NFL. Never. Not in the United States of America. If you're gonna sit here and say WNBA over NFL, I have no idea what to tell you. Because when it comes to United States of America, NFL is king. And to have this lineup, you could have put this lineup on college. You might do some better numbers. You weren't going to take over college football, but you might do some better because this is the opening week of the NFL season. And this is the matchup that you gave us. So trying to compete with NFL is stupid. Also competing with the U.S. Open Men's Finals, where shout out to Yannick Sinner for winning in straight sets over Taylor Fritz. Not going to happen. All right. But nevertheless, you see the scores, you see what happened. It's a couple of games from yesterday I want to get into. First off, let's head to this game right here. We had the Dream blow a 16-point lead to lose in overtime to the Indiana Fever. At one point, the Dream was up 16. At one point, the Dream was up 16, fighting for their playoff lives, and you let it go away into the hands of the home team and the home crowd with Indiana. Caitlin Clark, 26 points, 12 assists, 5 boards. Aaliyah freaking Boston. 30 and 13. With 5 dimes, by the way. She even just said, I even throw some dimes in there for the heck of it. Kelsey Mitchell, 21 points. She's been consistent in the 20-point game. I give Kelsey Mitchell that. Aaliyah Boston, 30 points. You see Lexi Hall, 40 minutes. Caitlin Clark, 45 minutes. Kelsey Mitchell, 42 minutes. Aaliyah Boston, 41 minutes. For the Dream in a disappointing team loss. And it is disappointing because you're fighting for your playoff. Indiana's already in. Tina Charles, 17 points, 12 boards. Alicia Gray gave you 15. Joy Canada gave you 17. Ryan Howard gave you 36. And you don't hold on to win that game. You was up 16 at one point in time on the road, by the way. 16 points on the road, and you don't hold on to that game, knowing you are fighting for your playoff lives. Fighting for your playoff lives. Fighting. And you let that game get away. If you win that game, you put yourself in prime position to overtake Chicago and get that final playoff spot. But you lose it. But you had Indiana on the ropes. You had them on the ropes, and you lose that game. And then Chicago, in their first game without Angel Reese, get to face the Dallas Wings, and they handle business against the Dallas Wings 92-77. Angel Reese leaves. Kennedy caught us back, and Kennedy got her close for 28. Right out the gate, she's going for 28. 10 for 17 from the efficient. She was inefficient for 28. 10 for 17 from the field. She only took 1 3-pointer and made it. She also gave you 6 dimes. Camila Cardozo, 10 points, 11 boards. We might have to get Camila Cardozo more involved now without Angel Reese, but Harrison filled in for Angel Reese. 21 points, 9 boards. That's how you fill in. 50% from the field, 9 for 18 from the field. That's how you do it. If I'm the Dallas Wings, how much longer do you play Saltu Savali, Natasha Howard, and Arika Gumawale? You got 5 games left, and you're already eliminated from playoff contention. That's my question when it comes to Dallas. How long do you play your starters? You got 5 games left. Do you just go ahead and shut them down for the rest of this? 5 games left. You're not making the playoffs. You're completely eliminated, and it's between you and the Sparks for worst team in the league. And I don't think you're going to get the number 1 seed because Golden State comes in. The Golden State Valkyries make their debut next season. So I do believe they get the number 1 pick. And then 2 years after, then the following year, you got Toronto coming in, which I'm looking forward to seeing what name they come up with for Toronto. I'm looking for that name. But I think the team with the worst record probably to get the number 2 pick in the WNBA draft, if I remember correctly. Because with the new team coming in, they get the first pick. And that would be the Golden State Valkyries. So Paige Beckers might be heading out to the Bay Area alongside Steph Curry. Just making that, just telling you what it is. Telling you what it is right here, okay? Just making that clear for you. All right. So Here's are the standings. As you can see, New York still holds the number 1 seed, 29-6, and looking like we're going to hit 30 wins this year. I'm happy about that. You got Minnesota just a game ahead of Connecticut for 2nd seed. And behind Connecticut, 3 games behind Connecticut, it's the Las Vegas Aces. I don't know if the Aces can catch Connecticut, to be quite honest with you. And when I say that for a reason, because a lot of people are going to be disappointed when I say this. With me saying that, I don't see the champs catching Connecticut for the 3rd spot, which means in the semifinals of the WNBA playoffs, you will most likely see the WNBA finals rematch. New York versus Las Vegas in the semifinals instead of NBA finals. I know a lot of people just groaned when I said that. I know a lot of people is disappointed with me saying that. But if I'm being completely honest, I don't see Vegas catching Connecticut. And with me saying that, it's going to be Las Vegas and Seattle in the first round. Whoever wants to win the AC will face New York. I got Vegas and New York surviving and moving on. And they're going to see each other in the semifinals for the right to go to the WNBA finals. It'll either be Minnesota or Connecticut standing in the way, or whoever wins the Las Vegas, New York battle for the title for the crown. That's the way I see it right now. And my Caitlin Clark fans out there, my Indiana fans out there, currently you're the 6th seed. And with you being the 6th seed, you get Connecticut. Even though you beat Connecticut the last time you faced up, I still don't like that matchup for y'all. I still don't like that matchup for y'all because Alyssa Thomas just came off a triple-double. That's the 11th triple-double of her career, which is the most in the WNBA history. So it looks like Connecticut is getting back to being Connecticut. And if they getting back to being Connecticut, that's not good for Indiana. That's not good for Indiana. Phoenix Mercury, you're the 7th seed. You will be the 7th seed because I don't see y'all catching Indiana. So you will get Minnesota. Whatever's going on with y'all, I don't see y'all beating Minnesota. So the top 4 seeds right here, I see all getting to the 2nd round. Then, the only question, if Seattle come out and ball and Gabby Rumors is balling, they could get a chance to run for their money and possibly take them out in the 1st round. Caitlin Clark, Indiana playing some fabulous ball in the 2nd half, but I just don't like the matchup with Connecticut. Even though they beat Connecticut the last time, I still don't like the matchup with them. Nevertheless, I already mentioned that the Dallas and the Sparks are already eliminated. And the 3 teams you see in the yellow box, those are the 3 teams fighting for that 1 spot, that 8th spot that's currently held by Chicago. I'm going to take me a break here because when we come back, we're going to talk about them three teams that are fighting for that playoff spot. We'll be back.
The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC.
Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime.
Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time,
But this game, after everything Manchester United has been doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly, was all of a sudden for real.
I explained this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Shop hats and official sports gear at Liz. Liz is the leader and #1 destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you, making it the perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gear. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback adjustable fitted hat or beanie from thousands of college and pro teams. Browse the very latest sports jerseys and t-shirts from the best teams out there. Liz has officially licensed professional and college sport team apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country. Locker Rooms by Liz.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The race for the last playoff spot. That's right. The race for the last playoff spot. Chicago, Atlanta, Washington. Sky Dream Mystics. Who can catch that final playoff spot and most likely play against the New York Liberty in the first round of the playoffs? Now, real quickly, let me get you right. Chicago currently hosts the AC at 13-22. They are a game ahead of the Atlanta Dream, who are at 12-23. And then 2 games ahead of the Washington Mystics at 11-24. Now, for you to understand how the playoffs work, and give you a little our real how the playoffs is going to work when we get there. But the first round of the playoffs, which is the quarterfinals, is a best of 3 series. So you win two of the 3 games, and you win. And 2 home games will be to the top seeded team. And only 1 game, if necessary, will be at the lower team's place if they goes to a game 3. After that, then you get best out of 5 for the semifinals and the finals. As we sit here right now, the Atlanta Dream, according to ESPN, the Atlanta Dream has a 45% chance of capturing the 8th seed. And the team that holds the 8th seed, the Chicago Sky, has a 30. 8% chance. And unfortunately, ESPN elected not to put the misses in here, which tells me they don't believe the misses have a chance in hell of catching the AFC despite being only 2 games back with 5 games to go. That's ESPN. That is not me. That is ESPN, the full letter network. All right. Now, what do those 5 games look like? Let's begin with the team that hosts the AFC, the Chicago Sky. They have a game coming up against the Washington Mystics on September 11th at 8 p.m. And it's in Chicago, by the way. So it seems like if Chicago was to win that game, and I pretty much believe that ESPN believes that Chicago's going to win that game, that would knock out the Washington Mystics. So I believe they saying by the end of September 11th, the Washington Mystics would be eliminated. So by the end of Wednesday, going into Thursday, the Washington Mystics would be eliminated and it'll be at the hands of Chicago Sky. But remember, they don't have Angel Reese now. And the Washington Mystics starting to pick up their game. So I don't know. Then after that, on Friday, September 13th, they go to Minnesota. 7:30 on Ion Television. That's a tough ask right there. That's a tough ask right there because Minnesota, they still want to keep that second seed and have home court advantage if they do meet the Kinetic Suns in the second round, which would be the semifinals. They want that home court advantage. So they still might be playing their players to the end of this one. So that could be a tough task for the Chicago Sky. And then you get a home visit from the Phoenix Mercury. Well, the way Phoenix is looking right now, that's a very winnable game because I have no idea what's going on in Phoenix. So that's a winnable game for the Chicago Sky. Then next Tuesday, you go to Atlanta. Back. Put on your, ladies and gentlemen, WNBA fans, put on your calendar. Chicago Sky at Atlanta Dream, September 17th. That game right there, depending on how the previous 3 games go, that game right there could determine who wins the AFC and makes the playoffs. Write that on your calendar. Grab your phone, type it on your phone, whatever the case may be. September 17th. Okay. Next Tuesday, the winner of the AC will be crowned between the Atlanta Dream and the Chicago Sky in College Park down in Atlanta, Georgia. And then you finish the season off on that next Thursday at Connecticut, which is not a fun game to end the season with if you're fighting for a playoff spot, if I do say so myself. So Chicago got Minnesota and at Connecticut. That could be 2 losses right there, all right? And you only a game ahead. Now let's get to the Dream. Let's see what the Dream look like. All right, the Dream, they are home to the Minnesota Lynx tomorrow. That should be fun. The way Minnesota's playing right now, that could be a dub for the Minnesota Lynx and another L on the Dream. Then you have back-to-back games against the Washington Mystics. Friday is at home. Sunday is at DC. If you split with one of them games, the Washington Mystics are done. If you even split, this is over. It is over for Washington, even if you split. So you can already see. I didn't even get to the Washington Mystics, but you already can see the Mystics don't look too good right now. Then of course the September 17th game with the Sky, and then you finish it off at New York. So you have the Sky finish the season at Connecticut, and you have the Dream finish the season at New York. Man, I don't know. What's up, Victor? How you doing, my brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. It says miss you on Tuesday. Hey, things change around. Things change a lot. You see what Cole got going on. You see what I got going on. Things change a lot. But man, I will always be grateful to the Snowman for getting me into it. That way I have this platform. But man, it would be nice, but hey, it is what it is. Miss y'all. Hope y'all doing well over there. You, Snowman, and the super producer, Shane Lee. I can't do it like Cole do it. I got to work on that. But man, it was somehow, because this is the Dream schedule. Let's go to the Mystics schedule, because by the look of the schedule, the Mystics have the chance to make some things happen. If they can go to Chicago and knock off Chicago, if they can sweep the 2-game series with the Atlanta Dream, well, they take a visit by the New York Liberty and they get a home visit from the Indiana Fever. Ooh. I can see why people don't have faith in the Mystics. Even if they do go 3-0 and they beat the Sky in a Dream, you got New York coming to you and you got Indiana coming to you. Yeah, that could be problematic for Washington. I was gonna say they're looking. It's New York, and you finish this. You got a 3-game homestand: Dream, Liberty, and Fever. And the only game that we can say that you have a chance in is the Dream. Man, that's tough sledding right there. That is very, very tough sledding here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go with ESPN. It might be against the Dream and the Sky for that last playoff spot because it looks like the Mystics gonna have to go 4-1. Yeah, it's like they 2 games back on. Okay, so if I'm looking at this correctly, let me go back to the Sky. They because the Sky are 2 games up on the Mystics. So if they lose to Connecticut and the Sun, okay, that will put them. Let me go back to the standings real quick. That will put them at what? So 5 games left, they lose to 24 at 15 and 24. Oh, no, 16 and 24. 16 and 24. Okay, that'll put them in 16-24. If we just gonna go hypothetically, the Sky go 3-2. Okay, they beat the Mystics, they beat the Mercury, they beat the Dream 3-2. Okay, that's a loss on the Mercury, so that drops them to 11-25. Okay, if you're the Dream, what you lose to the Mystics, you probably split with the Mystics. You lose to the Lynx, you split with the Mystics. It's in Chicago, so I'm getting up into Chicago for right now, and you lose. So 2-3, that doesn't. Nope, that would not get it done. And then I already put 2 losses on the Mystics already. So you already lost 2 games to them. No, I don't see the Mystics getting in. Now that I just sat here and did that, it's gonna take a miracle for the Mystics to get in. If they go undefeated, they win all 5 games, they'll get in. But I don't see them winning all 5 games. I don't even see them winning 3 games. I don't see them winning 3. And the crazy thing is they have 3 home games to close out the season. I don't see it happening. I really don't. I just don't see it happening. So September 17th is the game to watch between the Sky and the Dream to see if the Dream can overtake the Sky for that A spot. And if they don't, in Chicago, and it's going to be a rough setting for Chicago because they don't have Angel Reese. That's the way I see it. So if you wanted to pick, I think I'm gonna roll with the Sky on this one. I think the Sky found a way with 5 games left. I think they found a way to get in before they ultimately get demolished by the New York Liberty. Whoever gets in get demolished by the New York Liberty. Okay, I'm just letting you know that right now. Whoever gets the A spot, they are getting destroyed by the New York Liberty in the first round. It's gonna be 2 games and done. Okay. 2 games and done. And speaking of which, let's get you ready for the week before we get out of here. No games tonight. We're going straight to tomorrow, September 10th. Speaking of the Dream, they're hosting the Minnesota Lynx. That's at 7:30 on NBA TV. CBS Sports Network has you the New York Liberty and the Dallas Wings at 8 p.m. And then a nightcap. Connecticut Sun, they are in LA to take on the Sparks. Tomorrow is like the day for all the road teams. That's what it looked like. I like the Lynx, I like the Liberty, and I like the Sun. Jeez. Tomorrow is a road day. I'm just going to say that. Wednesday, September 11th. It will be 9/11. We will remember those that what happened on 9/11 because we can never forget. With that being said, 7 p.m. NBA TV. The Las Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever get together. Hopefully the status of Asia Wilson would be better and that she would play in this game against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. The Aces trying to see if they can climb to that 3 seed over Connecticut, and the Fever trying to catch the Storm for that 5th seed. Somebody got to take it out. Somebody gonna have to. And then at 8 p.m., the aforementioned Mystics and Sky game up in Chicago at 8 p.m. And then your nightcap on NBA TV was a doubleheader. Storm, like I said, the Fever are chasing for the 5th seed, are in LA to take on the Sparks. That doesn't help the Indiana Fever at all, as they trying to catch that 5th seed, but that doesn't help them at all. And then Thursday, September 12th, one game on the docket. The New York Liberty had the Dallas to take on the Dallas Wings at 8 p.m. on Amazon Prime. So that will do it for today's show. Thank you again for tuning in. If you're catching us on the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification so you get every updated video that we are posting on the Playmakers Ball Network YouTube channel. Those of you who want to catch this at any given time that you want to, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, whenever you want to listen to Shooting Lights Out. And those of you who enjoy listening to sports on a radio station, 502 American Angel on Fridays. And then the Real Rise Radio Thursday, 7 p.m. prime time on the Real Rise Radio. With that being said, I am the Playmaker. I am signing off for this week for Shooting Lights Out. We will be back next week to see where we stand at for as playoffs begins with the 3 teams of the Chicago Sky, Atlanta Dream, and the Washington Mystics. Thoughts and prayers with you, Angel Reese. Have a full recovery. We'll see you next year. Deuces.
You've done great, but you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the floor. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting Lights Out.